Hey everybody, Rafael Nunez here. Today, let's talk about imposter syndrome. It's such a popular topic nowadays, right? But is it a real thing? Is it a clutch? What is it? Is it a comforting statement to offset our shortcomings? Let's unpack this just a little bit. I know I've experienced it. Imposter syndrome is very, very real. But are there ways to treat it? Are there ways to have those feelings subside a little bit? Let's unpack that a little bit. I'm gonna give you 3 steps today to help you offset imposter syndrome and maybe eradicate it completely. First, what is imposter syndrome? So imposter syndrome is the lack of belief in someone's perception of competence that we may have, right? So it's pretty much this. It's pretty much us being a guitar player and somebody saying, you're the best guitar player, and us saying, am I really? I'm not that good. I don't think I'm that good, right? So first of all, the competence has to be aligned to something you're actually doing, right? Don't call it imposter syndrome if you're being attributed credibility or competence on something that you've never done. So if someone says, Rafael, you're the best rocket scientist ever, and I'm not a rocket scientist, that's not imposter syndrome. That's just a misappropriation of credit, right? Hey, I'm not a rocket scientist. I don't have to rise to the occasion. I don't have to fake it till I make it. That's not who I am, right? Now let's take it to something relevant, something that I am doing. So, for example, I am a cybersecurity professional. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know everything about cybersecurity, but I've had exposure to most realms of cybersecurity, hands-on experience, practical experience. I have clients that have relied on my experience to help them through a problem, to find a solution, to find a strategy. Somebody approaches me. Rafael, you are the best cybersecurity professional. Am I really the best? I'm okay, I'm good. But ultimately, there's some truth to what they may be saying. I am a cybersecurity professional. The best, that's subjective. That may be their own perception. But am I really going to cringe and hunker down on the fact that I don't know everything, there's others that are better than me? Not really. I can accept the compliments. I can be comforted knowing, well, I have done my homework. I have studied a lot. I've been certified. I've had hands-on experience, and it's almost been 20 years. So why would I question it? So let's jump into the 3 steps to help you avoid just being part of that imposter syndrome, that feeling of self-doubt. So number 1, opportunity is a gentleman. Opportunity can be extremely tactical and gentle when it approaches us. So if someone says, hey, you are the best speaker we've ever seen, and you're just an okay speaker, at that point, that can represent an opportunity. You can rise to the occasion, or you can just defeat that compliment and say, you know what, I'm not really that great of a speaker. No, thank you. I don't think I'm ready for this. End of story. That in between is what's going to lead to imposter syndrome, right? So one option, rising to the occasion, requires working on your craft, getting better, and being able to perform at that level that someone has perceived that you're at. And the other one is simply denying it and staying where you're at, I'm not good enough, and walking away. But when you stay in the middle questioning without investing the time to work on your craft, that's when you're gonna allow imposter syndrome to creep in. Number 2, you have to trust your work ethic. If you keep the promises you make to yourself, if you read the book that is required to be read for a certification, if you've understood the manual, if you've gone through your tasks and you've been diligent to stay on par with your projects, with your commitments, that means you've done your best. If you've done your best, why question your ability to perform? So there's very little room for imposter syndrome when we've known to have done everything there is to do to make something happen. Now, if you've slacked off a little bit, if you haven't been very diligent in doing what needs to be done, yes, imposter syndrome will knock at your door because somebody has an expectation that you're ready, but you know you've left some stones unturned and that you haven't done what is required to rise to that level of expertise that others think you're at. Guess what? Some people will compliment you with zero ulterior motives. They are being sincere. They have nothing to gain, nothing to lose. They are legitimately complimenting you. They have perceived a skill set, a gift in you that you may not have seen for yourself. Welcome that and harness it. Work on that craft. Why would you question it? If there's someone at a senior level, someone that is performing at a level that you'd like to perform, and they've issued you a sincere compliment, don't let doubt creep in. In fact, take it as validation that maybe that's what you should be doing. You've now discovered something that you're good at that maybe you didn't know you were good at. So don't question it. Just walk into that light, walk into that compliment that you've been issued. And comparison is one thing that can really lead us to have self-doubt and feel like an imposter, right? You may be in a room with varying degrees of experience. Guess what? You're still in the room. There's a reason why you're there. We're always going to have someone that has been doing this for a very long time, but there's also people that are looking at you as having reached a milestone that they can only dream of. Your 2 years of experience may be the world to someone else that hasn't even taken the plunge into creating a resume or applying for the opportunity that you're working in today. But yes, there's always going to be people that have been doing this for 20 years, people that have a better work ethic, people that work harder, people that have different commitments and different motivations to have them perform at a very elite level. That's okay. You can rise to the occasion as well. You can perform at that level, but don't minimize your accomplishments based on the fact that somebody's outperforming you. They're not outperforming you just because they're better than them. Maybe they've been doing it longer. Maybe they're investing more time. Maybe you have an opportunity to leave your comfort zone and raise your standards. I really, really hope this has been helpful, that these 3 steps can help you some way navigate and start abandoning this syndrome of imposter syndrome, right? Of feeling like you're not the person others are perceiving. Others are perceiving what they can see and what they're witnessing. Rise to the occasion. Be better. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Believe the compliments you're giving. Stop comparing yourself with others. Their journey has been different. You still have something to offer. I really hope you found these steps useful to battling and fighting imposter syndrome. If you found it useful, please consider liking, subscribing to the channel. I look forward to providing more content with the same essence. Thank you so much for watching.